the house band Shadow Malice of the Warped Brew Tavern challenged the heroes to a battle of the bands. Pairing up for individual performances first, Tulok faced off against the lead singer, Raita, by matching her dancing lights and juggling an ever-burning torch. Kruka faced off against the drummer, Krogala, by competing percussion techniques and showmanship. And Gilda faced off against the lutenist, Golzash, by performing a rope escape act matching the climaxes of their song. The heroes having managed to show up their respective individual competitors, Shadow Malice played one of their best-known songs to a familiar crowd, and the heroes followed up by combining their efforts, which led to Tulok doing thunder and lightning Foley work, Gilda doing a coin drop to windmill to dead drop improvised ballet, and Kruka singing opera for the first time, and they won? Wait, really? Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, no, it says here they won, and the crowd went wild, and it specifies that they did not go wild with outrage. What the heck? They liked it. The Morlocks liked it. How? Well, anyway, history is written by the victor and all that. Sometimes it's hard to believe I was a Morlock once. They liked it. Well, let's move on. With Kruka as the face of the party, using his linguistic expertise in Undercommon, the heroes dug for more information from their new fans. Without much luck, they decided to slip away, but just before they did, caught wind of someone imprisoned in the back room of the tavern. The tavern owner, Vishari, then entered and greeted the new champions of the stage, insisting that they stay to celebrate, which was more or less when Gilda tried to sucker punch her and pandemonium ensued. And eventually, with every patron and employee of the tavern dead or unconscious on the floor, Shadow Malice returned to the stage to give the heroes an impressed, slow clap.
And welcome back, listeners, to Stemming the Tide. It's me, your friend Scott, and we're kicking off another exciting adventure with me and my friends here. We got Duncan, we got Freeman, we got James,
and we're Zoo in the Morning.
And we're all the Zoo in the Morning. The petting zoo. All right, I'm fucking buzzing right now, guys.
Y'all amped up? Y'all excited about something?
You know what? I think I've been buzzing on the podcast before. It was when I was working outside of Starbucks and they just kept feeding us free Starbucks, and I was heavily caffeinated for that episode.
Again?
Well, we're back, baby, but this time it's Monster Energy drinks.
Ooh.
I got a Ultra Fiesta sugar-free mango, and things are popping.
Oh, that sounds like something from Idiocracy.
And I'm the
Rondo.
president.
It's got what plants crave.
It's got what Scoots crave.
Give it. You gotta give them water. What? Like out of the toilet?
It got me wondering what y'all think about highly caffeinated beverages. Energy drinks, some people call them. Taurine. Tell me about it.
I don't know much other than that there was a couple of flavors years ago that I used to love, and I was drinking way too many of them, like 3 tall boys a day minimum, and they were like cheap down the road at my store, and it was bad.
What was your brand?
I think it was the Mountain Dew one, Amped or something like that.
Oof.
And there was a couple color flavor ones that I really liked, but I had to cut myself off. I haven't touched an energy drink since I did.
You got to get rid of those heart palpitations.
And it's weird because I don't really like sweet and like pop things at all, but for some reason there was these couple flavors that I just loved, and I just couldn't get enough of them. But like I won't go near like a Pepsi or a Coke or a Sprite. Like I don't like any of it.
Yeah, weirdly, they don't each have 160 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
I wonder if that might be it.
But besides that, I mean, I have a habit of getting a cup of coffee when I get into work or when I go for breakfast, but I don't find myself to be terribly reliant on caffeine in general.
Oh, it must be nice.
Yeah, Duncan, you look like a guy who enjoys a heavy dose of caffeine in your life.
Strung out is what you're saying? Yeah, I am chugging tepid coffee right now to get on to the hot pot of coffee that I delayed the recording of this podcast to brew at 9:30 p.m.
That's the way. That's when you want to be drinking coffee.
For those who don't know, Duncan is from the far East Coast.
Yeah, as coasty as you get. There's an extra time zone out there in the Atlantic that most people don't even know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm huge on the energy drinks. Well, used to be huge on the energy drinks. Now I like to limit myself to road trip energy drinks every now and then, but I still drink the NOS.
You're NOS guy.
Yeah.
Is it because of your love of Fast and Furious?
It is exactly. It's my love of family more than anything.
Familia.
Yeah.
You can have any energy drink you want as long as it's a NOS.
Oh yeah. Well, it's in the Monster umbrella of families. I know that because I'm an avid hunter of energy drink deals at gas stations. So,
James, big Jager bomb guy or what?
Is that what they're calling Red Bull and Jägermeister?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's what the kids call it.
I've done a couple of those in my day. I've done a couple of hand grenades, which are somehow worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in this bar
What's the
in
hand
London.
grenade? Is that with like the cinnamon liqueur or something? Like Goldschlager or something?
No, it's
Fireball?
I think it's vodka and Jaeger, but you balance the two shots on top. So you pull the vodka so the Jaeger falls in.
Yeah,
you shoot the vodka and then you chug the whole
great.
thing.
Gross.
But at this bar in London, I did a bunch of what at the time were called Devil's Advocates, which were equal parts Red Bull and vodka.
Mm.
So I haven't had an energy drink in like 15 years.
It's probably for the best.
the technology has come.
Yeah, I definitely got like heart palpitations. And I never liked the taste. I still don't like the taste. Like caffeine in general, I'm trying to wean myself off of to a degree. Like I still have a liter of coffee in the morning, but I don't do red eyes. I don't do any coffee after 10 a.m. anymore. It's all decaf tea because I just get jittery. I'm getting too old for that.
Oh
shit.
yeah. I used to like a sugar-free Red Bull because the only way I could describe it is it's deliciously gross. I don't know what it is. It's just
like
a weird.
It's like those medicines that you liked as a kid, like the banana penicillin and stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, but for adults and
tastes like
gross.
medicine, but you don't quite hate it.
Yeah. Like it would be sold as a tincture or a tonic in a bottle from a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Like 100 years ago.
When I was fresh 19 was when I feel like Red Bull, like Jager bombs were becoming quite popular. And we would just go to the bar and have like, we went to this bar called Plan B and knew all the bartenders there. And we would just crush like, I swear like 20 Jager bombs in a night. And so you're averaging like, it's like 6 cans of Red Bull in a night while you're just out there partying.
I don't know how you guys handle it. Like it just, they don't taste good, and I never felt good after though.
Oh, I'm not healthy.
Yeah, I'm rotten on the inside.
Well, I don't know. I mean, caffeine is something I think we can all get behind. The sloppy white girl wasted mixing of caffeine and alcohol. We'll leave that to Scott.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of caffeine and getting pepped up, we got a bunch of unconscious bodies in front of us that could use a little caffeine.
You really do. This comment went down weird, and you're in a bar, kind of appropriate. There's some weird tinctures behind the bar that the guy tried to sell you, so those are up for grabs. Who knows? Maybe they're caffeine loaded as well. But yeah, you have managed to kill a couple Morlocks, but you've knocked out the Drider, two of the Morlocks, it appears, and the Vishari, the sort of proprietor of this tavern. More or less, rules is written. We haven't really covered like how unconscious works too much. The last one was that Sugathi that you ended up just like killing. You can give or take about 10 minutes of something after being like knocked unconscious, and they will recover one hit point and gain consciousness again. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Of course, GM's discretion on the time on that, but that's probably what you feel like you got right here. Despite how hard Lady Gilda punches. Maybe I'll tag on a couple extra minutes. We'll see. But yeah, the last thing that's happened is you've finished this sort of like tavern brawl, and the band Shadow Malice has come out on the stage and has slow clapped your victory. What do you do with this information?
We accept donations.
Tulok's in the northern room, mostly out of eye shot of Lady Gilda.
Right.
And he is going to take the dagger of venom out of his sheath and just stab this Morlock in the throat.
Okay. That was probably for the best, because I off mic, I was a little confused as to how that one was still alive when it's clearly gotten in Gilda's punch range. It's got the dying condition. So maybe that one is already.
I think
dead,
that one was dead.
You just give it the extra heave ho just in case.
It's not like Tulok to leave a one alive.
No. So listeners, sorry we forgot. If it wasn't dead before, it's fucking dead now.
Definitely dead now. Yeah. Lady Gilda, you're standing on top of Vishari, so I'm just going to move you aside there real quick so you're not straddling her unconscious body.
She's got her boot to the neck. It's fine.
And if you guys are just going to sort of hover for a sec, the band starts to hop down off the stage and makes their way sort of to the center of the room, close to the double doors that are on the western side. And the singer, Rita, is just like kind of like smirking and says,
You guys are something else. I guess we're gonna hightail it. We'll have to find a new place for a regular gig. Hey, friends.
kind of looking at her bandmates.
Whoa. No. I was letting you finish out of respect, but the second that they said that, Tulok is stepping towards that northern door and has already told the skeletal champion to cut them off.
Okay.
Gilda gives you a questioning look of concern.
Yeah. Well, and then Rita's like, huh?
Hey, what gives?
I think we should just have a quick conversation before you consider going through those doors.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're just going to start off. I'd like to know what are behind those doors and who might be behind there.
Well, it's the way out, as far as we know.
Out how?
Out through the upper floors.
So is there a stairwell?
We're not all just from down here. There's a couple hallways, and then it leads to the stairway that goes up.
I'm going to make myself clear right now. I want you to tell me many, many details if you would like to leave without trouble right now. Because I don't know who's on the other side of that door, and we don't need another fight right now.
All right. I see what you're getting at. We're not trying to
bring someone in here to take you on. I mean, we could probably do it ourselves. But we're not interested.
I would like to perception check on like a sense motive. 1, on if they're telling the truth about what's out there, and 2, I want to know if he actually thinks if he could kick our ass, because I don't believe that either.
You get the feeling they're reasonably confident in their combat abilities. Maybe they would have fared better had they ambushed you with the rest of the people in the room, but they didn't. But as far as you can tell, Right is telling the truth.
Okay, that's fine. I am sorry. It's just precautions. Perhaps we'll come with you to the stairwell that you say goes up, just to make sure. You make it out. Okay.
Well, if you want to escort us, I suppose. Anyone else got any issues with us leaving?
Gilda's already moved to the back room and she's starting to do medicine checks on these injured folk.
Okay.
And while she's doing that, Kraka is silently killing the other knocked out creatures.
Okay. So Raida, here's what happened. We gotta take this a little bit at a time here. Raida is going to awkwardly sidestep the skeletal champion because it hasn't moved yet, and just kind of gingerly put a hand on the door and cracks one of the doors.
And the skeletal champion also slumps to the floor, by the way.
Okay, now it's gone.
Let's say that the time has probably passed for it to be.
Okay, because you can keep sustaining, I think, but it's up to what, a minute or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably coming pretty close. And then Raida just like opens the door, gives you a look, like, see, it's fine, and then starts to walk out, and then Nox, the Theorbo player, follows suit, and then Kragala, the drummer, as well, and then last is Golzash, who before stepping through the door stops, looks all around the room, and just takes their loot and just tosses it on the floor and like abandons it, and then just walks out of the room. And yeah, you can see Tulak if you come and look at them it's just another hallway that leads to double doors on the west end. It's a 10-foot wide hallway, and there's a couple double doors that lead to the north. And so they head to the north and crack those doors and continue down a long hallway that ends in a room that appears to be empty at the end. And then they hang a right towards more double doors, which lead to the spiral staircase that you guys have entered in with.
Kraka would like to take the loot. A true artist seeks no payment.
Well, first, are you killing these creatures?
Oh yeah, super dead.
Okay. In which order are you killing these creatures?
Oh, I think I know what that means.
Which one goes first?
The Drider.
Drider. Okay. So you just walk over and axe to the neck, kick down with your foot.
Yeah. Yeah, somewhere in that fused thorax.
Oh man.
Head kind of thing to get going.
Yeah. All right, and you just crunch down and dead.
Next, the owner of the bar.
Owner of the bar. Okay. Tulak, how far do you go, or do you just watch them go down the hallway and you make your way back in?
I walked all the way north up to see them go into that spiral staircase room.
Okay.
And glanced in.
In that case, I will say that when Kraka kills Vishari, he is the only one that is in range of her necrotic decay. Because as you slice into her body, her flesh starts to just like rot away into this like foul smelling gas, and this 5-foot emanation of gas just like erupts in your face. And I need you to roll me a fortitude save.
Whew.
Well, at least I'm a master fortitude saver. It's a 7 on the die for a 22.
It's a fail, I'm afraid. You take 35 negative damage.
Hey.
And this gas also enters the nostrils of the Morlock next to you and kills it.
Nice.
The unconscious
2 birds
Morlock,
with 1 stone. There.
saving you the effort.
Got 2 birds stoned at once, eh?
That was something I actually thought I'd forgotten after the last session. I was kicking myself. I was like, oh no, wait, they knocked her unconscious, not undead, so they are unconscious, not destroyed. And I was just waiting for this exactly. I was hoping you were all going to be around it.
Tulok just walks back into him, like choking on this gas, like this poisonous gas all around him.
She just exploded.
What are you smoking?
And Tulok, you can see that the loot on the floor as you come back in is like pretty well reinforced, and it looks battle ready actually. And it's a +1 battle loot.
I believe Krucka picked it up already.
No, that was I made him do the killings first.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, but it's a +1 striking battle loot actually. So
What?
some sweet runes on there, yeah.
It's a wild ride.
So I can
Where
put
are my
that,
bards
I
at?
can put that in someone's inventory, whoever wants it.
Tulok picks it up and gestures to Krucka.
Okay.
Look at this. It's a loot made for combat. Perhaps you might take a look at it?
Ah, yes, the pen is mightier than the sword, but the rune-etched battle loot is mightier than the pen.
If you don't need it now, though, I can always just put it into the bag of holding.
I'll hold on to it. I meander.
You dabble.
I don't quite know what. I assume it does like bludgeoning damage, but it's got the two-handed D8 trait, so you can actually switch between one and two hands if you want. And it's got the shove trait actually too. It's pretty cool.
I feel like Krucka's a guy, it's kind of like myself in that he has many, many hobbies, but is pretty shitty at all of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. He knows more about things than he like of the existence of things at a very surface level than any actual deep knowledge in a subject.
Oh,
It'd be
story of my
great
life.
on the first half of Jeopardy.
It's hitting a little close to home.
Meanwhile, Krucka is mercilessly slaughtering creatures and coughing up a lung, and Tulok is spying on the band and coming back. Lady Gilda, you are in the room to the north. The reason you came in here to begin with, or like jumped them anyway, and also I assume avoiding the horrible axe in the other room.
Yeah, there's going to be a reckoning at some point where she's going to, like, this might be the situation where her plausible deniability goes out the window to go back into a room and see a bunch of headless corpses.
And like even Vishari is like just melted away basically.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so you come in and there's only there's three creatures in this room. You heard the voice of one originally behind the door. And the one that is like alert and conscious is this person. A sort of purple-hued elf with silver hair who looks pretty worse for wear. And they're all sort of like tied up and like attached to like meat hooks. And they look pretty rough. There is this dude as well who is unconscious. Looks like a sort of emaciated dwarf almost.
He looks like a naked redcap.
Yeah. It's a big, long white beard and these massive white eyebrows. And like just wearing like a loincloth and some raggedy clothes and stuff. And then there is also this creature who is conscious but sort of just muttering to itself. Wearing raggedy clothes and whatnot, and hasn't really registered you despite being conscious at all that you've walked into the room. And the elf is like, "Thank you. Are they dead now?"
Try not to speak. She will do a medicine check just to see how bad his wounds actually are and if they're magical in nature. It's a 28.
He looks rough, but fine. Like it's most of its what's the word? Superficial, like wounds and stuff. Looks more than anything dehydrated and hungry and exhausted. But nothing tremendous. No tremendous damage done to his body. But his wounds appear to be right at a glimpse right away. You could tell they're fresher than the others.
Okay. She will then treat wounds. It's a 22, 4 points of HP back.
All right.
And she will hand him a ration, like half of a ration, not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna untie him first?
Yeah, she'll just break those bonds, just athletics them off.
And he kind of slumps to the floor for a sec, and like just starts to try and stretch because he's been, in one position for a little too long, and then very eagerly grabs the ration from your hand. But doesn't waste your time in saying, "Water? Do you have any water?"
Yeah, she'll hand them her water skin as well, and just
Thank you.
Eat slowly, drink slowly. You've been without, and if you go too hard, it's all going to come back up. So be careful.
Yes.
And be slow, no matter how much you want.
Thank you. Yes.
And then she'll move on to the other conscious one.
You want to roll me a society check on this creature?
19.
So this appears to you to be a skulk, which are cowardly, lazy, kind of underdark creatures. Darklands. Wrong game. And they're not really like pleasant. Like they're lazy and selfish, and they basically usually live on the fringes of organized societies and steal, and even murder is like merely another necessity to like their whole thing. They're just like unpleasant, but like not like super hostile. Definitely cowards kind of creature. But this one in particular is just like staring at the wall kind of thing and just muttering and just being like, man in the many rags, many colored rags. Takes the hand. He takes the hand, the man, the mottled one. And you're doing a medicine check again?
Yeah, just to check the wounds, make sure they're not magical and they are capable of being healed by mundane means.
Yeah, appears to be superficial as well. Not quite as new as the elf, and but you do notice right away that their right hand is missing, but it's appears to be healed over, but it's just gone.
And what type of wounds have they sustained? Like,
they just look like they've been beat up. They've been like punched and kicked and just abused, basically, bullied,
Tenderized.
Exactly. Tenderized before they go into the oven.
That's a 26 to treat wounds and 20 HP back.
Yeah, the moment you touch the skull, it just like kind of like shies away from the touch, but still without looking at you, and then just lets you do whatever you want to do. It just doesn't pay attention to you at all.
Okay. Then she will loose the bonds after the wounds have been dressed.
Okay. And it just slumps to the side. It just continues its muttering about the hand had taken away, the man, the motley rags, over and over.
At that point, if she hears Tulok in here back, she'll call to Tulok.
Mm-hmm.
Tulok, we've got one in here who's has suffered some trauma, and they seem to be a little further rattled. What do you know of skulks and their anatomy? Is there something you can do to help them deal with this mentally, perhaps? And she'll move over to the dwarf-looking thing.
You can roll me a society on that as well if you like.
24.
Okay, so this is actually a deep gnome, also known as the Svirfneblin. Ooh. Reclusive underground dwellers. This one appears probably has been here the longest. Very emaciated, in real rough shape, but just passed out.
Okay, she will start with a lay on hands then. So that will just be 18 back if it accepts positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then she will do a medicine check. That's a 30, just to try and gauge its wounds, like if that lay on hands did anything, or if this creature is actually just too far gone.
Yeah, I see. Like you lay on hands, and he just just wakes up from a slumber. I will. I'll kill him. I'll kill him. He just starts looking around and sees you, and just like probably med kit in hand, just blasted him with healing. He's like, what's happening? How are you?
What language are they speaking?
Well, at first it's Gnomish, but no one would know that. And then it switches to Undercommon when it sees another face.
She shakes her head no, and then tries to treat wounds.
And by the way, the elf spoke to you in Elven. And the other one is speaking Common.
That will be another 9 to the deep gnome.
Okay.
And after treating the wounds, then she will then undo the bonds.
And does Krucka speak Undercommon?
Yes.
I think Krucka's the only
But
one.
while this is all going on, he's behind the bar. First, he's going to do a medicine check on himself because he's beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of got his fill of talking to people before this whole fracas happened. So, 28, so he'll get 10 HP back, and which is not much, but it's something. And I'd like to search behind the bar, including that little thing of alchemical elixirs and whatnot. Maybe an elixir of crimson longhorns or something.
Yeah. There's like the Boulderhead Bock, Spiderfoot Brew, Bravos Brew, Wine of the Blood, and a Sang Wine, which is a sanguine mutagen. And then you actually find 7 gold pieces as well.
Sweet.
On the bodies, you don't find anything except for with the Drider, who had a +1 composite longbow, a glaive, some arrows, and a book of crudely drawn drow pornography.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That they were. She was literally just standing in the bar, like looking at it and just flipping through the pages when you guys came in.
I respect that. Having the confidence to casually browse pornography.
I mean, she's the bouncer.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to take it all.
Back to the others.
So Tulok turns to this. Is it a drow? The
Roll me a society.
22.
Yes, it's drow.
So Tulok approaches the drow and will begin speaking in Elven and says, "What is your name? How long have you been here for? Tell us what's happened. My name is Tulok, and these are my companions. Who are you?"
And after taking a bit of a haul on the water skin, takes a deep breath.
Gilda will then pass the water skin to the deep gnome.
Okay.
And,
Reluctantly
the
gives
other
to you
half of the ration.
Yeah. So, my name is Falshi Orshendiel. I come from a small outpost of my people called Ildaris. Not sure how long I've been here. A week or so, maybe more.
How did you end up here? How were you taken prisoner?
I'm a scout for my people. I was out with 2 others, and we were out a bit farther than usual. We stumbled upon a couple of the Erdafons near Eldaris. Warlike people. Nasty. And, well, just like that owner of this so-called tavern. We were jumped and I was knocked unconscious. I woke up here. I can't explain how I came up so far.
What was the noun that he used there? Not Ildaris, the other one?
Like a small outpost?
No. He used a proper noun. What they stumbled upon.
Oh, the Erdafon. So I think you've done checks on the Erdafon already. So that's what creature Vishari was, the tavern owner, and it's the creature that was turned to stone in the previous floor as well, that appeared to have like translucent skin. They're basically like a warmongering kind of Darklands group of creatures.
Okay. Vishari wasn't a Velstrix?
Nope. No, because she's got like translucent. I'll show you the artwork again. Like she's got translucent skin, so you can see all the organs inside, and she's got like a lipless, like fanged face and a long tongue. Yeah.
Right.
With like got one with the basilisk blood and fought one earlier.
What do you know of your companions here?
I have been here the shortest amount of time. I think the gnome here has been the longest. Not much of a conversationalist, though, are you? And the guy just like grumbles. The skulk over there, I'm not so sure. She seems to have muttered only the whole time I've been here. She doesn't say anything to us.
My friend here has released you from your bonds. I would hope that we can trust you not to turn us in at all, as you've been a prisoner yourself.
Of course. Thank you. I have no ill will against you. In fact, I owe you my life. Should you come down to Ildaris, I recommend you visit. We do accept traitors at the settlement. Well, if you arrive, do so peacefully. And if I make my way back, I'll be sure they grant you access and a warm bed.
What is your hope now? That we let you go and you go back down into the ground? Or would it be easier to go up and out?
Oh, no. No, my people do not dwell on the surface. I will return to Ildaris as fast as I can.
Tulok's confused because he doesn't know the fucking way.
I've caught wind that from the errant whisperings and conversations of these Morlocks and the Erdefon that I am much closer to the surface than Ildaris. So all I need to know is go down. If I find myself into the Darklands caverns, I can navigate them.
Can I pull out Volok's map and have the papers and journals and have this drow point out where Ildaris is so we have a general idea?
None of the maps cover that area. You get the impression that Ildaris is quite a ways down compared to where you're at, based on this conversation.
Like, just down and, like, away, right? It's not, like, directly underneath this or anything. It's just the tunnels connect somehow?
Yeah, like, so, because you've already discovered, like, a little bit here and there, some tunnels that you can't really, but, like, you're kind of close to surface, you don't see many, right? So, I mean, you're likely to see more as you go, and those would be, like, beyond the scope of the adventure kind of tunnels, because you can't navigate them. But someone like him could, or these Darklands creatures. So they have, like, you can sort of safely assume they will have a safe route back if they're left to their own devices.
So it's interesting. It's like the deeper we go down, before they would be taking prisoners from above, but now we're deep enough underground that the prisoners are basically coming from below.
It all really, it's a great observation, and I think the thing that needs to be considered with that is who captured who, and what are the independent motivations for those capturings. You know what I mean? In this case, these people are just food. There's no knowable story of how this drow came all the way up and ended up in the cellar because it was unconscious the whole time. But that seems to be the case.
Okay.
I mean, and the same goes for the other two. Like, the Skulk is likely a surface dweller, and the Deep Gnome definitely not. So
Tulok is going to leave them there then, and I think we should just do a full search of this room, the room to the south, and go into the green room where the band was and search in there too. Because if nothing else, there's probably drugs and booze in there.
It's regular old fish concert.
Felshi, if we were to arm you, do you think you could escort our Deep Gnome and Skulk friend here back to Ildris, where they may recover in peace?
I can see them towards the tunnels, though I'm sure they'll part ways with me when they see fit. But yes, I can do my best, but when I find the direction to my home, I will take it, with or without them.
All I ask is that you try, and then your and my debt will be settled.
Sounds like a fair deal.
Okay. She'll call out to Tulok and Krugga. Any leftover weapons that we can salvage and give to these three travelers?
Does he play the battle lute?
Do you play the battle lute?
I've not the digital dexterity, no.
Okay, then glaive it is.
So while they search the room, Gilda will just alternate between treat wounds and lay on hands to get them as high in HP as she possibly can before they set out on their journey.
And Kraka would like to nonchalantly try to get himself into that rotation because he's still really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I can roll for it if you want, but I feel like if we just take an hour, everybody will be fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So we've definitely spent a good 20 minutes so far, and then you're going to take another hour.
Yeah, it'd be 30 so far, so an hour and a half, because treat wounds on each of them is 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'll take another 10 on there. So coming around 1 in the afternoon. 1,300 hours.
And that gives them a full hour to search the tavern or go down any hallways they want to go down.
For sure, yeah. All right, so tavern is pretty scant other than what Kraka found. Tulok, you're going to pop into the backstage area.
Yes, sir.
Cool. If you want to just start calculating some healing there behind the scenes, James and or Duncan.
That's
Tulok,
not any language, listener.
That is me talking. Thank you. Yeah, you pop into the old backstage, and you can see there are various props that haven't been used for a long time. Things like, I don't know, juggling balls and sock puppets or some shit. And you can see someone someone's been sleeping on like a folded curtain in here. And the curtain's actually in surprisingly good condition. And you would suspect it would probably get some money out of it. It's probably worth about 10 gold. But it smells vaguely of body stink. It's not it needs to be aired out for sure. But it's 5 bulk. It's really heavy. It's a big, heavy curtain.
What? There's just a 10 gold curtain randomly in the adventure path?
Yep. It's made of velvet.
Well, whatever, man. I got a fucking bag of holding. Give it to me.
All right. I'll throw it in there.
You should probably take what I took off that drider as well, because I didn't realize a glaive is 4 bulk. And
yeah. Well, if you're leaving the glaive behind for them, you can just remove that.
And then also take the composite bow, because that's also 4 bulk.
Yeah, we'll take all that.
Composite bow might be good for Lady Gilda too, because that's like composite means you can use your strength with it.
Okay.
Anything else in the green room other than that?
Yeah, well, actually, as you start like dragging this curtain into the bag of holding, you realize a cloak falls out that was kind of wrapped up inside.
I start to feed it to Duffy.
He's like, oh, that's a very soft curtain. What's this? Oh, a cloak. Tasty. Tastes like something it shouldn't. Like it's something else. Like it's tricking me. It's almost like there's nothing there at all. I don't know how to explain it. It's magical, though. Obviously.
And what type of magic would I roll?
Let me just...
I like to think Duffy was the one that went...
Sure was.
Also, I don't know, while you're looking that up, if anyone has seen the movie Green Room by
hell yeah.
it's an A24 movie.
Love that movie.
I remember hearing about it.
Anton Yelchin and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
There's no particular DC that's whatchamacallit? I can't think of words again today. All the DCs are the same. But if you detect magic on it, it has the illusion. School of
Tulok
Magic
will
detection.
roll an occult roll on it.
Okay, please do. What'd you get?
28.
Yeah, good enough. This is what is known as a clandestine cloak. A clandestine? I don't know. When you pull the hood of this nondescript gray cloak, which is an interact action, you become drab and uninteresting, gaining a +1 item bonus to stealth checks and deception checks to impersonate a forgettable background character, such as a servant. But also take a -1 penalty to diplomacy and intimidation checks. There's a 2-action envision and interact once per day on it, and the effect is you pull the cloak's hood up and gain the benefits of non-detection, which is a 3rd level spell, for 1 hour, or until you pull the head down, whichever comes first. And non-detection is basically you erect protective wards that make the target difficult to detect via magic. So non-detection attempts to counteract all detection, revelation, scrying, divinations made against the target of the target's gear through the duration, counting cantrips as first-level spells for the purpose, so on and so forth.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of a neat little thing. Not sure
Very cool.
how and where I'll be helpful. Or maybe I am and just not telling you. But, you know.
That's 130 HP after Krug is filled up to distribute between the three of them.
Thank
Nice.
you.
I'd like to take 7 of those. 9. 9. 9 of those.
I actually rolled 9 on a treat wound,
Really?
so that's yours.
That's
That's 121.
Bam.
Oh, that's funny.
You sure you're okay over there, buddy?
I'll be fine.
Walk it off.
Everyone healed. Where to next? And are you regathering when you continue?
Well, I mean, Guild is going to try and arm these beings, but she doesn't have any weapons other than the cooperative blade currently, so...
Yeah, Tulok doesn't have anything that isn't fucking way too dope for them.
I mean, like, you can give the glaive to Falshi, and, like, the skull is not gonna even, like, grab anything from you. Doesn't care. Is totally distracted and muttering. Just saying, again, the same things over and over and over. Something about the man who takes the hand, and the mottled rags, and the many-colored rags, and blah, 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 blah. And then, the deep gnome, will just, like, happily grab anything, like just a chair leg to use as a club, and seems to have no issue with using that to hit someone over the head with.
In the green room, there's a door to the north. Does Tulok hear anything behind it?
You do not.
He opens it.
Okay, yeah, you've got yourself a dressing room of sorts, oversized furniture, certainly intended for rooms larger than this one. But they've all been jammed in here. There's a really acrid smell of burning paint that fills the air. And it's pretty clear that this has been a really well-used room. It's probably where the band hung out.
Okay, so this is the green room. Tulok will
Yeah.
do a full search in this room.
Okay. And you don't really discover anything of use.
Kruka's going to
Okay.
join him to search thoroughly.
And there's another... Well, Kruk is coming down. There's another door to the north. Does Tulok hear anything behind that?
You do not?
He opens that. But he waits until Kruk is in the room.
Sure.
Strength in numbers.
Oh, also, and detect magic in this room.
Yep. You don't detect anything.
Okay.
So you crack this door, and placed against the east wall is a disgusting buffet. Disgusting buffet table that holds a buffet of smelly fried morsels, gloppy dipping sauce, and spiny mushrooms. Looks like it's all kind of partially eaten.
I feel like Disgusting Buffet would be a good metal band name. Or punk band.
Yeah. As you pull the door open, too, you can see written on the side that would face this buffet room, as it just has in Undercommon, there's that Krakow will see, it just reads performers only.
And Tulok will search that room.
Taking a look around, nothing. Don't find anything, and no magic.
How about Kruka?
Nope, nothing.
Do you know they just throw this out at the end of the night if nobody eats it?
I don't know about down here, Kruka. This could have been from weeks ago. So Tulok heads north. It's a hallway that they've seen already.
Yep, that's where Vishari came out of.
He's thinking that we should all regroup, and he will mention the cloak once they're all together.
And so in that hallway, there is one door to the north as well. And in like the kitchen area where we found those three, there's also a hallway that leads, I should say for the listeners, a hallway that leads to the east and north, and a single door on the sort of southwest, west and north, and a door on the southeastern side of the room. And the room is just like, you know, the kitchen itself is just filled with alcoves of like, you know, curing meats and oil stains and gristle and all kinds of shitty, gross things. It's a real unclean kitchen.
Okay, they're healed and armed. Gilda will direct them to the hallway and then have Tulok show them where the staircase was, I guess.
Did the staircase go further down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is the part of the staircase, like the floor up. You could tell it went 2 more floors down, so you're in the middle one right now. But
Okay.
it just spirals all the way. Yeah, further and further down.
Okay. I guess Tulok then will bring them to that staircase. We'll peek into the staircase again in case you want to tell me anything about it, and then we'll come back.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. They kind of guide the skulk along, and once they get a little farther, they start to pump up with a little bit of energy, and they follow Fauci's lead, and they take off.
All right, and Tulok says, "Goodbye, Fauci."
Well, we know what happens if we get a TPK. We just play that crew.
Right.
Thank you again for what you've done. Remember, if you find Adaris, come in peace, and you will find shelter.
He really keeps reiterating that, but I guess technically, or like traditionally, Drow people be evil.
Yeah, so you can, given the changes in 2E and Galarian and all this stuff, you don't have to assume that they're just going to be evil, but you probably would assume they're militaristic. So coming in peace is more of like a respect and don't get yourself shot at the door kind of thing.
Don't want to this is Sparta moment.
Yeah, you get the feeling that he's probably not at liberty to actually tell you much about the place, but like you said, they accept traders, come in peace, and he'll vouch for you.
We're going to the Prancing Pony, and our business is our own.
Did you just make that up, Scott?
Is that a budget Wheel of Time reference?
It's Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
At Bree.
Okay, so Tulok will mention the cloak to see if anyone else wants it, aka does anyone want to roll off on it? It is a level 6 magic item.
Yeah, remind me what it does again.
It basically allows you to become kind of nondescript. Put the hood up, you look like a sort of no detailed kind of person. You can cast non-detection on yourself once a day, and it gives you like a bonus to deception checks, but like a penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a cloak. I'm in on this roll off.
Yeah, so basically the non-detection is there's 2 different things. There's the you can impersonate, I don't know, like an NPC, and then also once a day for an hour you can use non-detection, which essentially means you can't be like scryed upon or detected or revealed through magic means. It sounds like.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
'Kay.
I'll roll off for that. This could be a great option for Gilda's lack of stealth. Is the way I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because the stealth checks are you get a +1 item bonus regardless, and then the deception you get a bonus to deception to impersonate on top of that.
Oof. Yeah. I rolled.
I got a 13.
I got a natural 20. But Tulok will take the cloak and hands it to Gilda and says, "Perhaps you could use the stealth."
Well, so just so we're clear, that makes my stealth modifier from a 1 to a 2. So, I mean, I'll take it, but just so you know what you're giving away for what.
Whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
That one.
Is it an invested item?
It is an
Yes.
invested item, yes. How many slots you got left?
I got 4 left.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm up to 6 already, so.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, the hand wraps, the half plate, the hunter's brooch, the epaulets, the bracers, and the wayfinder. So,
Oh, yeah.
why don't you just take it, Tulok? Because if I ever max out, that's going to be the first thing to go, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I know we just went over it, but the more I look at it, the less value I'm seeing in it for a Gilda. Like if it's just a +1 to stealth, then that's not a whole lot. The deception could be valuable, but we can always just trade the cloak off. It just takes like no time at all to invest in this system. So
Don't forget, too, you guys have a hat of disguise, a greater hat of disguise in the bag of holding as well, if you ever need it.
Yeah, we do.
we should just get Duffy to wear it. Or Morlabin. He can just wear it and be physic for a few days.
Oh.
Okay, Gilda will open this this door in the kitchen. That's hopefully just a cupboard.
Sure. Yeah, it's a storage room. Spare chairs and shelves filled with grimy bottles and poorly cleaned dishes, all about, and a door to the northeast.
All the while taking the defend action, she will open this as quiet as possible to the point where I'm going to roll that trash stealth check.
Okay.
Tulok's gonna aid by being like, just make sure you lift while you jiggle. And aids.
Okay. Yeah, you crack the door and you just see a room that it's got a few shelves and whatnot, and a whole bunch of like sort of pots and containers. But the whole thing appears to be covered in a sort of fuzzy yellow moss. That looks like it's more like focused on it's like really built up on the northeast corner of it's just 10 by 10 room. But it seems to have spread across the whole room in some way.
Yep, that's coming to life. Kreka's going to want to search the room that they're in before they move about.
Yeah, you don't find anything of value.
Tulok turns to Kreka and says, Kreka, have you seen anything like this in the woods? And points to the moss.
Yellow. Color of the sun, let me think. And nature check, I think.
Sure, yep. Let's do nature. Yeah, it's definitely this sort of fungal mold. You're not quite sure if it's mundane or not. Just mold in an unclean room.
I've seen this before and would recommend cleaning the dishes.
Foof, I feel metagamey. You didn't roll very well.
Could go either way, really. You know? I mean, sometimes I'm like, it's mundane. What do I say here? Like, or it's not. And I'm like, oh shit, what do I say here to make you think it is?
Tulok's standing outside the room and would like to roll a perception check just to see if there's anything that he can see from there that would be worth money.
Nope, nothing you can spot.
Tulok leaves the room. Wait, but if we think that it's mundane, Tulok's gonna fucking step in and search the room.
Okay, Tulok, you're gonna step in?
Yeah, if Kreka says it's mundane.
I said it might be mundane.
You step in, and sure enough, there is a chain reaction of spores just go as you disturb some of the mold at your feet, and it gets bigger and bigger as it goes. And I need you to roll me a fortitude save as these spores enter your lungs very quickly.
I'm going to use a hero point. I rolled a 15.
Okay.
24.
Fail.
Ooh.
You are going to take 3 poison damage. And you are drained 1. And you basically need to roll me another fortitude save.
28.
Okay. You're good. You probably leap back out of the room or some such, but like you take this poison damage and you could feel it like immediately sapping the energy of your body, and the spores have even like spread out to like the front, the first 5 feet before the door as they just launched off and bounced off the walls and stuff and through the threshold. But yeah, before long the drain just kind of you recover pretty quickly.
So Tulok steps out. He's like, "Oh man, that's not mundane, Kreka. There was something in there."
Oh, I was thinking of the green one. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was thinking of asbestos. That stuff's great.
But yeah, that could have been a lot worse.
Wait, Tulok. Gilda is going to do a medicine check to treat poison on you, just in case you start moving down this track later.
Cool.
That's a 17. So I guess we'll know if you decide to, if you end up moving down the track. If it's a success, it gives you a +2. If it's a critical success, which it's definitely not, it gives you a +4.
What I can tell you, even just with that check, is that this is a poison, not a disease. So they just like calculate round.
This is for treating poison.
Yeah. So this is like, yeah, poisons act round by round. They don't have like long-term So like
Yeah.
you're not going to go down the track, in an hour. That's not how poisons work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do it immediately.
Yeah.
That's why this
Just
is
in
one
case.
action versus the 8 hours for treat disease. So just in case.
Also, just for the listeners, I clearly knew there was something in there.
Yeah.
It was just, I just think that it would be doing a disservice to it if we just were like, oh, it's mundane. We don't go in.
Yeah.
'cause it's green.
Yeah, because that's metagaming. I'd say you can have your hero point back for role playing it in a realistic way. Wasn't your deepest, most dramatic role playing moment, but it was accurate. I like that.
I'll take it. Shout out to the listeners who don't know this, but Freeman recently asked if he was giving us enough hero points, which we all said pretty much yeah. But you know what? I think it's on his mind that he can be quite cheap with them.
Yeah. Also, that wasn't the question.
That wasn't the question.
The question was, does this system work? Because if the question was, does he give enough hero points, the answer would undoubtedly be no.
Yeah, the question was, how are you liking the system we're using so far?
But your regular reminder listener, write in, tell Freeman to give us more hero points.
Yeah, shoot him a text that just says hero point 604.
420 6969.
No, that's the number to the call-in show. It's got to be in the zoo in the morning.
It's the zoo in the morning. And Tulok is going to be heading north up the other hallway, away from this chamber.
Okay.
Gilda, taking the defend action, follows him closely.
Okay, and there's one door, a single door to the north that is on the western side of the hall.
Eastern side of the hall.
Eastern side. I've always been bad at my west and my east. I don't know why. Cannot get them right.
I'm the same, bud. I have to
it makes me
do
so
it in my
weird.
head
Yeah.
before I say it out loud.
If I stop and do it in my head, I have to remind myself that west and left have the same pronunciation on the vowel. That's how I remember.
If you ever see me doing this and this while my mic is off, it's because I'm trying to figure out which direction is east.
That's so funny.
Never eat shredded wheat.
Yeah. Never eat sour
Yeah, that's what I'm
worms.
saying
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
head, but I have to go in the direct. Like, I don't know why I have to go in the direction.
I used to have to do the
I
same
do.
exact same thing. Like I couldn't get my left and my right, but I played piano as a kid, so I'd always have to take an immediate turn to my left because that's where the piano was in my house when you walked in the door, and then look at my hands and go, okay, this one's left and this one's right.
That's
Nice.
hilarious. That's such an odd one. I love it. Oh, man. All right. Yeah.
All right. Avoiding notice, Tulok leaves 5 feet in front of him for someone else to open the door.
Truck is feeling brave, I guess.
All right. You go up to the door, have a listen.
Listen.
You don't hear anything. Crack-a-doodle-doo?
Crack-a-doodle-doo. Crack-a-doodle-doo.
Crack-a-doodle-doo. You find a circular chamber, plainly used for storage. There's several casks that stacked along the rounded walls, but a dull silver fills the faded runes carved into the stone walls. Is this another teleportation circle?
Hell yeah.
This looks like your expertise, Master Tulak.
Oh, fuck, that's cool.
What?
Sorry, I was just while I was doing the treat poison, I was going through the actions in Foundry, and I just under exploration activity, or it's called assume a role. You've spent 1 hour studying a creature whose role you intend to copy and have done so within the last 3 days. You quickly and accurately learn how to do mundane jobs, or at least copy the movements enough to appear as if you do. So we could just watch somebody for an hour and then become them with that cloak.
Neat.
Like to the point where it would be very difficult to point us out.
I wish I hadn't killed that barmaid all of a sudden.
Yeah. There's also impersonate, but
Famous last words. Your Honor, I really wish I didn't kill that barmaid. What the hell?
Okay, also, are you guys both... Okay, I have this dragon turtle scale that one of you guys should have, because I am not an expert in athletics.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's a Gilda one, because isn't that one of the things where it's to do with water and
Yeah, it's the one that
wearing heavy
Gilda gave
armor?
me shit for giving her the breathing thing instead of the.
We can trade. I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's trade.
God, inventory management episode, guys. You're killing me here.
Okay, for now, I don't think we need to waste an hour with this portal because we are under the crunch to find Jaffa Key. So,
Yeah, so that's a good point. That brings me to the last episode. You guys went back and forth on what way to go. You have an idea how to get there. I believe it's to the southeast, and there are, as far as you can tell, there are possibly 2 ways, and both of them you have to go back up to the other floor. And you guys went back and forth on what you're gonna do. One of them is to go back on the floor and then take the stairs down into the arena, and the other one was to go check. Sorry, I guess it's not necessarily both up. But the other one was like when you first came in, you saw the whatchamacallit, the translucent wall and the Sugathi at the north, and like looking at something in the corner you couldn't see. There looked like a doorway that led down towards there as well. And I think you guys opted to go back to that room after some debate with the Sugathi, but it's still up to you guys.
yeah, I like that. I think we should just go and fucking surprise attack the shit out of the Sugathi and try to.
We could probably get there from the eastern hallway in the tavern and the door to the north.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, there's that one room we still haven't looked at, so why don't you head over there?
Okay.
Tulok will detect magic by the door.
Okay, detecting magic.
30 feet, baby.
No magic.
Not even a weird wall.
Accounting for rules I feel like exist, but I've never really been able to find where like thickness of walls come into account, I'm gonna say no.
Well, I don't think thickness of walls counts at all.
I think it does to a degree. You also don't know how thick the walls are.
Exactly. It's 30 feet.
But then I'm saying
It's
no.
like, okay, all right, okay. Shout out to rules as written.
Because like there are certain things that like like a thick door is not going to count, and like but there are certain things in the game that like things have to be lead lined in order to stop you, or after this many feet of thickness, like you don't really get through in detection and stuff like that. So that's what I'm accounting for a little bit. Trying to keep it in the immediate vicinity so that it's actually not too deceptive to you. Like yes, you detect it. You can detect it nearly any magic anywhere, but like it's not necessarily the room you're in. And it's kind of just like spinning our wheels at that point.
Okay. All right, listeners, check out on our Instagram an Outfitter's Guide where I do rule reviews, and maybe I'll have to look into this one.
Please do. All right, going up to the door, taking a listen. Hear nothing. Crack door. Rinse repeat.
Yeah. Gilda will open the door, shield up.
You basically are faced with a messy office. The battered wooden desk, paperwork and ink stains that scatter its surface all over. And that's about it.
Oh, it's the restaurant manager's office.
It's an office.
Search. Let's search it. Big ol' search. Thorough.
Damn, no door in there, hey?
No door
We got
in there.
tricked.
Taking a look around, you can see that there's a small dented safe underneath the desk. The papers strewn about seem to have like supply lists. There's some weird recipes for different kinds of fungus, employee rates, pretty mundane stuff. James,
The margins are terrible.
Tulok will look at the safe. Is it locked? Is it trapped?
Yes, it has a very simple lock on it, but it is locked.
It's probably just recreational ledgers.
Good throwback.
Just a whole stack of them. It's locked, but you can try and pick it if you like.
God.
Is it locked with a key or with a combination?
It's a key.
Is it the round key I have in my inventory?
I can give it a go, and it does not work.
Okay. What about the tarnished silver key I have in my inventory?
Oh, yeah, no.
Tulok rolled a 17.
Yeah, that cracks it open, actually.
Phew.
Yeah,
That was
it's
a 3
a
on the
real
die, baby.
simple lock. It's not special at all. You crack it open, and there is inside neat stacks of coins. Well, they were neat until you jostled it. 34 gold. 179 silver. And 57 copper. And there is an elaborate 4-pronged key.
Or maybe it opens the safe.
And I'm just going to throw that into Gilda's inventory so that we have some keys in the same place.
Yeah, sure.
And that's it. This is an episode of conversation, murder, and near fruitless exploration.
So Gilda would kind of have a sense of direction based on the Wayfinder's compass underground.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to specifically investigate this wall for like a secret passageway into that hallway.
Sure. Yeah, you go give it a little looky-loo, and you don't find anything.
When Tulok was up in the circular staircase room, because I mentioned that I looked in twice, was there a door at that level going in any other direction?
Yeah, there's a. Well, I guess you didn't come down this area. I forgot you didn't come down that way. Yeah, there's another door on the eastern side of the circular chamber, and actually, when you peeked in too, there was the northern side of the door appeared to be, or of the circle. Sorry, is another translucent wall that looks into a cave system of sorts.
I did notice in the circular staircase to the north, another room, or doorway at least, that moved to the east. Perhaps we could go through there, but it might be a dead end. I'm not sure, but it might be worth a look. They might not be attached. Well, fuck it. We might as well just go look. We have a couple options. We could go to the north through that door that goes to the east, or very far to the south. Maybe the south is better because it's a little more direct for now.
Because that area is where you came in, yeah, and then you opted not to check out that room to the southeast in there. Yeah, that at least is like tangentially somehow related to the double doors that may lead to where you need to go.
Yeah, we should probably get motoring. Those Jaffa cakes are getting stale.
Sorry, listeners, again for this labyrinthine map that's impossible to explain in an audio format.
Honestly, I'm getting a headache just looking at it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Long story short, they're heading back to where they first entered this level. They found that secret door, and then they ended up fighting the Sugathi and then finding Mershin. So heading back towards that secret door. And as you do, and you make your way back into the room with the translucent wall, the wall is no longer translucent.
It's opaque?
You know it!
So, things to remember. That last Sugathi has that link thing with the other one, potentially. It may be people are aware that we're down here and killing shit.
It would be surprising if they weren't.
Yeah, we did just start and finish a tavern brawl.
That's the best way to do it.
That wasn't a brawl, it was a moida.
Okay, Tulok is going to avoid notice heading through the south, following Gilda.
Yep, okay. And so you're heading to the door.
Yeah, detect magic, listen, the good stuff.
The good stuff. Listen, hear nothing. Check the door. No traps. Detect magic. Oh, yeah.
Okay, now excluding the magic wall. Still magic?
Yes, still magic.
And what type?
That one would be transmutation.
Okay, and I can also pinpoint to the 5-foot cube.
Coming in.
It's heightened now, so I can pinpoint to like a 5-foot cube where it is.
Where?
Yeah, you can look at the square that the magic is in.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. I was, okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. So you feel several options in the room ahead of you.
Okay, fair enough. Tulok is just gonna say, there's quite a bit of magic in there. Transmutation, I believe, so keep your head up.
You feel a combination of transmutation and evocation.
Pop it.
Pop the door, and you see a 10x10 room with cluttered tools, scraps of wood, furniture is haphazardly stacked in the cramped space.
Shield up. She takes a step in.
Basically seems to be a storage closet of some kind.
Before Gilda touches anything, does Tulok think, or is there any way to tell if there would be a mimic in this room?
That is a very good question. Let me just double check the actual monster ability on the mimic. Yeah, you can basically roll a perception check against its deception DC for its mimic object.
If Tulok points out that that's what this could possibly be, I think we're all going to roll perception.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 22 for Gilda to start it off.
25.
16.
None of you detect anything mimic-like.
Gilda will step 5 foot to the south to give the boys room to work.
Tulok steps in and now would like to search for those magic items.
Okay.
Crockett would like to search the walls.
Give me a perception check.
23.
To start, you find, as you're searching around, you find 2 vials of green liquid that don't appear to be magical. They are alchemical.
Oh.
So crafting check on that to figure out what it is, if someone wants to.
Crockett will take those.
Sure.
17 for the first one, the 2 on the die.
I'm afraid you don't know what it is. But they appear to be identical, so you don't know what either of them are.
Okay.
And the magic stuff?
Magic stuff. Roll me another perception.
I rolled one. 23.
Oh, yep. You find...
He could also theoretically just pin it down with his 5 foot square detect magic and then thoroughly search.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about, like, just adding a bonus to these perception checks, so we can kind of do that. Like, give yourself an auto critical success aid kind of thing, +2 every time. You find a mummified hand that hangs in a golden chain. Its gnarled fingers locked in a peculiar pattern.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck yes.
Not the first time we've come across one of these.
Tulok will put it in Duffy's mouth.
Okay.
Eat the hand, Duffy.
Do we know the owner of this hand?
not that you know of, no. It for some reason I actually skipped this on purpose because it seemed like an odd detail, but it specifies a mummified elf hand. But there's no particular check that's better. Duffy's like, oh, that's a weird one. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It tastes all briny and ooh.
24.
I was going to say let me handle that in case it's cursed, but okay.
This is a hand of the mage. It's a necklace that basically, with 2 action command and envision, you can cast Mage Hand. Level 2 item, very simple. Invested though.
Would anyone like to roll off?
Yeah, I will roll off for that one, I think.
Oh, it's a roll off. Kruk is biding his time.
Yeah, no, he's good. He doesn't understand fashion.
It's a 12 for Tulok.
16.
Hello.
Don't you have Mage Hand already?
I do not. I had it in my cantrip deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's going to Lady Gilda.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give it to Tulok, but I legitimately feel like I'll get some use out of that. If I don't get use out of it the next couple episodes, it's all yours.
I don't. Yeah, go on with your bad self. Enjoy. Tulok will turn to Krucka while this is going down and say, Krucka, can you see if there's any secret passages in this room?
Of course.
We're also still missing more magic.
Oh yeah, still more
This
magic.
would just be the evocation. We haven't found the transmutation yet.
Ah.
The 2 vials were alchemical.
Actually, that was transmutation as well. But you still detect...
Mage Hand is transmutation?
Yeah.
Fuck right off. Okay. All right. Conjuration, I would let slide. But
Well,
transmutation?
sorry. To be fair, the item is transmutation, not necessarily the spell.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, it makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you still detect more transmutation and evocation in the room.
I will look for it.
All right, roll me another Perceptione.
25.
Okay, you find a little metal grasshopper studded with emeralds. That's usually clasped to the legs
of a suit of armor.
Tulok puts that in Duffy's mouth.
Oh, I absolutely love crickets and such. Oh, but it doesn't taste like that at all. It's metal and weird, and it scratches my throat.
No particular, school of magic or whatever.
Are you implying that our sock puppet backpack has taste buds?
That, according to the request of Head Reaver, yes.
Okay. Just checking.
The detail of our patron was that it always tastes like something. Give something back.
It.
This is a talisman known as an emerald grasshopper. So you can fix it to your armor, which takes 10 minutes. When you consume it, you basically free action and vision, and the trigger, you do it when you trigger with a high jump, but you haven't rolled yet. You have to be an expert in athletics, and then when you activate it, you succeed at the athletics check. You leap up to 50 feet vertically and up to 10 feet horizontally. If you critically succeed, you leap up to 75 feet vertically and 20 feet horizontally. It's a massive jump.
It's huge.
If you don't end your jump in solid ground, you flutter in the air until the end of your turn, then fall harmlessly at a rate of 60 feet per round until you reach the ground.
Whoa.
So it basically comes with slow fall included, basically.
Yeah.
You can just slide that into my inventory.
Yeah, I think.
No for Krucka?
Well, I'm the only one who can use it.
Yeah, Krucka's only trained in athletics.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't mean he still can't be a dick about it.
Yeah, well, has he been a dick about anything yet?
Just remember, you got to affix these beforehand.
Yeah, so she's just going to spend 10 minutes of fixing it now while you guys are searching for, theoretically, the last piece of magical treasure.
Cool. All right. Roll me another perception.
13 for me.
Having a hard time finding this last object. Crocker, you want to give it a go?
Yeah, if he points Krukka towards it, 28.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. You find a sort of carved and lightly runed iron cube that is emitting evocation magic.
Taste this bag.
Oh, it's like it's not quite like a cube of the Rubik's kind. Oh, it's metallic. It's not special, but kind of special.
There are no advantages in your check.
Okay.
Is the rune like a property rune?
None that you've not any that you've seen like or recognize. Man, I can't use words today.
Okay.
22.
Meat to beat. This is another
Nice.
talisman, but this one affixes to your weapon. Requires that you are expert with the affixed weapon, and you can use a double 2-action to use the knockdown feat, level 4 knockdown feat.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, Krukka wants that.
Yeah, it's a blackened iron cube that's attached to the weapon in some way. Yeah, if you have the knockdown feat, ignore normal size restrictions. So I don't think anyone has it already. So. That's a Krukka.
Yeah, I don't use a weapon often enough, and I'm already a Titan brawler, so like I'm not super worried about it. Cool.
Now this has an aesthetic that pleases me. A blackened iron cube.
So you might want to fix that to your weapon in advance as well.
Yep, he will do that right now.
Okay, so did Krucka get a chance to do that thorough search, see if there's a...
Yeah. Didn't come across any secrets, any doors or anything.
Well, so much for that, but at least the walls aren't transparent anymore. Maybe we can sneak up on it that way, or Tulok, you could throw on your fancy new cloak and pretend to be a Morlock or one of the the Erdafon.
Yeah, so I have the Hat of Disguise Greater as well.
What if you pretend to be the Erdafon? Krukka takes the Hat of Disguise and pretends to be the Drider, and Gilda, weaponless, pulls a Chewbacca and pretends to be a prisoner.
That's a great idea, but unfortunately, I don't think the Hat of Disguise will allow anyone to become the Drider. We could pick something else, or we could just roll up there.
It's a single Sugathi. You fought one already with dress cans and kicked their ass.
Tulok is going to avoid notice and lead the way ahead of the group.
Gilda, shield up, follows behind, and we are going to head down that hallway next to where we came in.
that long hallway that was lined on one side of that transparent wall that is now opaque.
Krucka scouting dutifully behind them.
Okay.
As they peer around the last couple corners, Tulok would just like to search for traps.
Searching for traps. And you are moving along, turning the corners. You get to the corner. And are you peeking around?
He, stealthily as possible, peeks around.
Okay. Just as you peek around the corner, you hear a little chinkily chank from Lady Kelda's armor. And you peek your head, and you can see the Shagathi slithering there on the other side of the room that is around the corner to your right. And just as you peek a corner, it just slithers forward one step. And we're going to call it there, and you're going to start with a will save.
Son of a biscuit.
Boo.
Boo.
Boo!
I was scouting ahead.
Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.